Hello, hello, and welcome to the Borealis Experience. I'm your host, Aurora, life coach and accountability buddy, companion on this journey called life. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Whatever you're doing right now, if you're working, if you're just laying on your bed, your couch, if you're driving, I really hope you feel good. I hope you feel good about yourself. I hope you feel safe, understood, and loved. And if you don't feel all these beautiful, supportive feelings, then I hope you feel that you can reach out to me and ask for help. And if it is not me, maybe a friend, maybe an acquaintance even. Sometimes a stranger can be more helpful than a person that you know already, maybe a family member. Just know that you're not alone. Today I want to talk about grief and maybe even weight loss, weight gain. Maybe you have noticed that I haven't posted an episode last week. I went through intense emotional stuff. I was really on a roller coaster. It felt like being in a washing machine, and I felt that the stuff I was going through, I couldn't really share with anybody because I felt so much shame for my grief. And that's a very deadly combo, because once you feel shame for how you feel, you will suppress it and you will not be able to channel it out. You will keep it in your system, in your body, and it's just going to feel like a pressure cooker. It's going to make you feel worse and worse and worse. And even though I know that me recording podcast episodes are it's therapeutic for me, cathartic for me, I was in such deep, dark hole that I couldn't even pull myself together. So I apologize for that to some degree, but I also value and acknowledge how I felt last week, and I'm still recovering from that. But yeah, let's talk about grief, because I feel we don't talk about it enough because it's so incredibly tough, and that makes it a topic for me that is extremely juicy, because I want to address all the stuff that is too intimate, too much, too sensitive, too fragile, because I feel our society deeply needs that and wants it. So grief is a feeling of deep loss, combined with regret. You might be feeling responsible for the pain that you inflicted on others or yourself. You're missing something in your life, or you lost something in your life that was deeply meaningful. If a person is involved, if a relationship is involved, then that's even more intense, because we are herd animals. We are deeply connected to each other's energies and physical connection, but also mental connection. So when you go through something traumatic, or you have gone through something traumatic and something triggers it and the pain comes back, sometimes we feel immobile, paralyzed. We feel we can't function anymore, right? One day we were going to work and accomplishing all tasks happily, and then the other we feel triggered, and from one second to the other we are falling back into that deep hole of pain. And it is a tough place to be in, because Sometimes you don't find your words. Sometimes you can't even make sense of why you're feeling this intense pain, because maybe the trauma is long gone, long processed, you thought. But now you realize, no, it's not. So that's even scary. So it is not only the pain that comes haunting you again, but it is also scary that we can't seem to get rid of certain pains. They will always be around. So what I've learned to do in the last couple of years of, working as a coach and being there for other people and working on myself as well, is to fully embrace that pain and to sit with that pain. And as awkward and weird that may sound, to also take accountability for that pain, right? To know that, yes, we are allowing this pain to come up. We're not suppressing it. We're not trying to run away from it. We're fully allowing it to come up and to look at it, to sit with it. And then even more important is to try and gently find out, what is this pain trying to communicate to me? What is this pain wanting to show me, wanting to make peace with? If it is a person that you're missing, it is very good practice to ask yourself, what was that person standing for in your life? Did it have a symbolic position in your life? Was that person filling a void? Was that person somebody that you wish you could be? Be curious. So sit with that pain. Ask questions. And I highly recommend that you do that by yourself and that you allow the emotions to flow out of you. Yeah, you cry or you write a journal. You start writing everything down that you feel and think of. But sometimes it's also a good practice to have someone with you, someone who can hold that space for you. And it can be a professional, it can be a friend that you ask, hey, can you hear me out for a moment? Can I talk to you about something? Are you in a place where I can open up about some of my pain? So if you're not talking to a professional coach or counselor or psychologist, ask a person directly if they are ready to hold space for you. And then they can decide for themselves and then really be there for you. Or you might have to find somebody else. So to make that clear, before you open up to somebody about your pain is very, very important, because if you are in pain already and then feel rejected by a person because they were not ready to listen to you, adds more pain to the pain, which you don't need. Another thing I want to talk about is that sometimes our pain is so physical, so visceral, that we feel the need to either starve that pain or to suffocate the pain with food. And this is when weight gain and weight loss comes into play, because sometimes we lose lots of weight while we're grieving. Sometimes we gain lots of weight because we're very differently wired and handle our emotions differently. And to be and stay in a place of non-resistance, but also non-judgment, right? Not judging yourself for feeling that pain still, is so incredibly important. And then to go further and to notice, hey, am I taking care of my basic needs? Or am I falling back into old coping mechanisms where I feel the need to starve, physical hygiene is becoming difficult, or I feel the need to eat so much because my brain made a positive connection to food way back, and now I want lots of positivity because I want to overcompensate for the negativity and the pain I feel. And to notice when these patterns come up, to notice when these thoughts come up of self-punishment or overindulgence is so important on your path of healing. It is very important to acknowledge your pain and to trust that by doing that, you're not going to go in more intense pain and it's going to take longer and you'll never get over it, but to address it, to sit with it, to embrace it, to ask the right questions, and then to not fall into coping mechanisms that are not healthy, right? As some people over-exercise when they are in pain, which is also not good. From the outside, they will look healthy and strong, but internally, they're totally broken. So what's the point? Because you won't see your own beauty anyways if you feel broken inside. So grief is really a tricky one because it comes haunting you out of nowhere at times. And then you feel overwhelmed. You don't want to be a burden to other people. You shut down and close up, and when people ask you how you are, you answer with fine, I'm good, I'm busy. But you're not busy and you're not fine because you're struggling so much that you don't even know how to function. You don't even know how to get out of bed in the morning. You don't know how to cover your basic needs. And no, you don't have to open up to every stranger to crosses your path and overwhelm them with your stuff. You need to find somebody who is trustworthy and who can hold space. A person that is neutral would be best choice. And then you can engage in a big step in your healing journey. And this is what I did over the last couple of days. I opened up to people. I allowed myself to cry and to sit there. I allowed myself to socialize and just be in company of good people, good energy, right? Sometimes we feel we have to hide and shut ourselves out of the world. And I noticed that I was doing that in the past. And now when I feel sick from the inside and so sad, I will still say yes to a social gathering if I know I will be surrounded by people that make me feel good and safe. So self-compassion, gentleness, curiosity, making space, allowing yourself to be is what I want to inspire you to do. And I want to create the space for you where you can feel all this, where you can feel safe and good and your strongest self and your weakest self and all those feelings that are hard to process. I'm very, very excited to be meeting with people in person now after COVID is over. I'm going to host a circle. I'm going to call them the human circle in the future. And people pick a topic a week before we meet. And then I'll work on the topic. And then we meet in a good place, high energy space. And I'll be talking for half an hour, and then we have a Q&A for the second half an hour. And I'm very excited to engage and to be in exchange with people to learn from you and to grow with you together. So if you feel that that would help you on your journey, please don't hesitate to reach out. And you can always request episodes here as well. And shoot me a question if you have on Facebook, Aurora Eggert. And I'll be happy to serve you, brainstorm for you, and help ways for you to become your strongest self. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Lots of love. Feel a big warm hug. Until next time, bye-bye.